with regards to that with the Alina Lodge. But thank you all, I appreciate it. My name is Pat Allen. I'm actually the outreach coordinator for Alina Lodge. This is actually my second opportunity to be here with John and everybody, so I appreciate the opportunity. In fact, actually, the last time I was here, which was in April, I had the privilege, if you will, of being with Alina Lodge for 10 days. So it was my very first presentation for them. So 6 months later, several presentations later, hopefully I have a better grasp of everything that Alina Lodge is. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here, obviously, with John and with all of you as well. I know this is an exciting opportunity and something that's kind of very neat to be a part of. So. But Alina Lodge, I think many of you in the room already know quite a bit about who we are. In fact, I know we've had the opportunity to work with many of you as well throughout the course of the years. For those of you who don't know much about Alina Lodge, like John said, our specialty is really working with those individuals who are the reluctant to recover. We specialize in long-term adult residential treatment, so we work with adults who are 18 years and older with regards to that. A little history about the lodge itself. We were established in 1957, so we have the privilege also of being one of the older facilities in the United States with regards to treatment. We are located in a very serene 40-acre campus located in the one traffic light town of Blairstown, New Jersey. And so if you know anything about Blairstown, there's really not much to it with regards to that. But it's truly a serene, ideal location, if you will, at least I think, for an individual to really conquer this particular disease with regards to that. So we're about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes west of New York City with regards to that. We are licensed for 90 beds. However, we actively choose not to take more than 70 clients at a time, 65 to 70. And we're actually around 65 right now with regards to that. That's a little bit more by design. I think that speaks more to really our quality versus quantity, if you will, with regards to the treatment that we provide. Again, with regards to the treatment, we are a long-term treatment facility. We're a long-term option, so we have the opportunity to work with all of you, certainly those particular individuals who have had multiple treatment experiences before. Those individuals who haven't done well, either 28-day stays or 90-day stays. So we offer a little bit different experience. We do offer a 90-day program. That's a little newer for us, newer within the last couple of years, if you will. We do offer a 90-day stay for those individuals, but that's a little bit more reserved for clients who have not had a treatment experience before. So if you're someone who has not been through a traditional treatment stay, whether it be detox or rehab, that may be a program that's a little bit more appropriate for you. Or we can work a little bit more exclusively with individuals whose licenses, like nurses, pilots, things like that, that may really kind of be limited to more of a 90-day type of setting. If you're someone who has been through treatment before, whether it be once or a dozen times, you're looking at more of a 6-month minimum stay for us. So we are really traditionally a throwback, heavily 12-step philosophy program with regards to what we do. We really are kind of a no-thrills program with regards to that. We really take the individual and really have them kind of sit with themselves and figure out, along with our therapist, how they're gonna meet the particular disease with regards to their specific needs. We have 14 primary therapists on staff, all of which are either master's level or doctorate levels with regards to their specific degrees. The caseloads that we have are never really more than about 5 or 6 to 1, which is good, and I think it's worth pointing that out because the state of New Jersey says that 12 to 1 is okay. So it's really an individualized treatment program with regards to that. And like I said, our average length of stay right now is about 8 to 9 months with regards to that. And we're located actually on page 2, as a matter of that. So I wanted to point out there is a slight change with regards to the pricing on there. We are $13,650 for the first 30 days, and then we're $11,400 for each additional 30 days thereafter. The $11,400 of the first 30 days is non-refundable, so that's important to point out. We are not in network with any specific insurance companies per se, so it is a self-pay basis. However, we are operated by a larger foundation, if you will, so the opportunities for scholarshiping and things like that are there. We usually see that, the scholarshiping coming at more towards the back end of treatment with regards to this. We like to see some level of commitment from individuals as they come in and work with us. We do not provide detox services. So the individuals that come to us usually need to be detoxed before they come in. And we have a couple facilities that we do work with, but we're always open and willing to develop some relationships with individuals and experience that as well. In addition to that, like I said, we are staffed medically 24/7, so we have a 24/7 nursing staff. We do have a psychiatrist on staff, so we have a fairly high tolerance, if you will, for the co-occurring. The primary obviously needs to be substance abuse for the individuals that come to us, but we can tolerate fairly high level of the psychiatric component. We can work with some of the eating disorders, sex addiction, those type of things as well. We can work with that as long as the primary really is the substance abuse with regards to that. In addition to that, obviously the second brochure that I have with me is for Haley House. Haley House is actually our women's transitional living facility, if you will. It is a 14-bed women's house located actually on our campus. It's just to the north of our main facility. And not because I had the opportunity to actually represent the facility itself, but I will tell you, it's one of the nicer women's transitional houses, if you will. The women who do or who are a part of Haley House or who do attend Haley House actually come from all over the country as well, just like Alina Lodge. About 20% of the women who are in the facility now have actually gone through the lodge. It is not necessary to go through Alina Lodge in order to be a part there, so if you're looking for some type of program, I know sometimes quality women's facilities can be difficult to find. This is an absolutely beautiful facility. And Sue Nordstrom, who actually runs the program, usually attends with us, but actually was not able to attend this time around. So the price point for that facility is also a little different, I think, than what's on the paper. It's actually $5,400. And we usually require about a 90-day minimum commitment from someone with regards to coming with that. So the average length of stay there is probably more about 4 or 5 months with regards to that. Put us in a brief, but yet not so brief nutshell. I don't know if there's any specific question that anyone has for us.
Questions?
On the insurance piece, do you do courtesy billing?
Yeah, absolutely. We like I said, we are not in network with any specific insurance companies with regards to that. But we will work from an out-of-network standpoint. We will bill accordingly with regards to that. Like I said, I think not everything is due up front. The first $13,000 is due up front, and then we can work from a payment structure beyond that to get individuals, whatever is easy enough to work with that. The easiest thing I can definitely tell you with that, if you're running into any problems with that, just give me a call with that as well, and I can certainly work with our administration with regards to that. But we have no problem writing a check back to you or your family with regards to insurances that have covered that's come in. But again, obviously working with insurances, the issues that you run into are, you have no idea what they're going to guarantee. They may pay for 10 days of a 9-month stay. So obviously some is better than none, with regards to getting somebody back.
Let me address a little bit of that also, Patrick. To show you how this system works in this room is Michael Hornstein, who's the CEO. He said, I think we should be taking some of the insurance. He gets a hold of Keith, who gets a hold of Gary, who's got a guy in New York City, selective basis, I understand. And that's what I understand you guys.
Right, and actually Keith and I were just discussing that right before I came
so
here.
That's on a selective basis, so don't discount insurance, because it's on a selective basis just to see what's like. This guy's real good, and thanks to this cooperative association we got here, whatever we are, and being able to go to somebody like Keith and Gary and find that information. And they just, whatever you want. It's like everything we have. You won't see any of my material registered or trademarked. If I got a trademark so somebody could die, that's wonderful. I think that maybe we ought to just share this stuff with everybody.
And I think it's really, really important to kind of piggyback on top of that a little bit further. You know, as a marketing coordinator, as an outreach coordinator, it can be really, really difficult to stand up in front of individuals and make promises about this or about that. I don't like to do that because if something doesn't happen, I end up getting blamed for that. And so, but what I can tell you, and I think John will even be able to attest, having worked with Michael before, is that I have, in the short time I have been there, and I've had the opportunity to work with the lodge over the last dozen years in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I can assure you that no one is ever let go from Alina Lodge simply because the finances have run out. So if a family is only able to pay for 90 days worth of trip, as a matter of fact, we just did it. We just discharged someone a few weeks ago. The individual himself came in, actually paid for 90 days. We scholarshiped him another 6 months. So I mean, if you're going to look at it that way, you know, I mean, from a pure business standpoint, you know, that wouldn't have panned out. But that is really not what we're about. I mean, we truly are dedicated to providing, you know, services with regards to that. So that kind of stuff happens with us all the time. So I definitely wouldn't.
I had a guy in there from Australia, and he was pretty screwed up on meth. I mean, he was really psychotic, and they kept him 18 months. And sometimes what you got to do is let that brain just rest, and they work with the family.
Yeah, I think it's imperative to really say that it takes time to heal the body, it takes time to heal the mind, and it takes time to incorporate those 12 steps into.
David.
Yeah, Patrick, I just wanted to give you all a shout out. Living in your backyard, essentially, there are generations of folks who've gone through your facility and now help the whole community. But on a personal basis, there's someone near and dear to my heart who spent a year at your facility after struggling at many other places. And the reality was that that individual ended up in a hospital.
Yep.
The doctor's telling him that he had days to live after drinking a handle of vodka for every day for a year, distended liver and whatnot. And Michael Hornstein and your staff took him, got him through the hospitals locally, and now several years down the road he's doing fine and he's back in a young girl's life and back in a family's life.
He's like, great. Thank you very much.
I've got a guy, a doctor, that said that Alina Lodge, he said, I owe Alina Lodge my life. And I said, Randy, you didn't go to Alina Lodge. He said, no, but you said that's where you were going to send me if I screwed up. I've got his card in my desk, and I went over and opened it up, and he still had that card. It took Randy 20 years to get a 5-year chip, but we finally got him graduated. Now
And we do experience that quite a bit. In fact, I do get a lot of people that come up to me that say, wow, you guys are fantastic. We've heard a lot about you guys. And I'm like, well, what have your personal experiences have been? And they're always like, well, I've never actually sent anyone there. I've just threatened a lot of people.
it works.
So those individuals that do come, I would really, we do have a tendency to say that we are the last house on the block. I think that's certainly true to a certain extent. But in the same respect, though, I would really encourage you all not necessarily to think that way with regards, because sometimes I think it becomes a desperation mode for a lot of individuals that you know, they've now tried everything else. This is the only thing to try. You know, there are those individuals that have not been through treatment before and can experience success even in the first time coming through. So we can certainly provide that. I know we've been doing it for 56 years, almost 57 at this point. So I think we've done something right with regards to that. And there are some unique things about us. For those of you who don't know, obviously there's no smoking, there's no cell phones, there's no computers, and most of the guys in here would actually be completely underdressed, myself included, for dinner. Some of the girls in here would be okay, but it's still a shirt and tie and jacket atmosphere for dinner. So it's a real throwback with regards to some of that. It's literally about self-respect and respecting your peers. We're dealing a lot with impulse control issues and things like that. I want what I want, and I want it now. We take a lot of those distractions away, and we really kind of, I hate to say force the particular individual to really discover how they're going to now become sober without all of those distractions. So.
All right. Thank you.